In here, you enter your web address and then we'll start an onboarding conversation with you to make sure that you understand how to get in. So we're going to use an example of Vinny's the Vibe. They are a footwear brand from Denmark. And what we're starting is this onboarding process where it's really intuitive and really trying to bring you into the process of what we're trying to do here. So we're asking questions around your content strategy and equally what social media presence you have. So I know Vinny's the Vibe are using Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok are the social channels we use. So treat this as if you're just talking to a person. That's what we're trying to do. And in the background, what we're trying to do is pull out all of those insights. Here you can see we've already scraped the site and you can see that we've got the name of the Instagram and Facebook as well as the TikTok there. So, yep, that is correct. And we use the platform actively. So we've already gone out there. You can see we've started to collect things about competitors and equally how we're getting in there. So we try to find out how you reached us as well at EspyGo. So I'm just going to put word of mouth for now to continue the conversation. In the background, we're pulling all those insights. And you can see we've actually pulled a bunch of competitors that we found. You can add your own if you wish. But here, this is what we've kind of gone off and found. So I'm going to add some of these examples as our competitors, confirm those. And then what we do is we go off, understand how they're ranking and what content they have, equally what that looks like from the background. That's why this stage takes a little bit longer while we're doing that, because we're actually adding those to the database. Then we're going to, where do we want to actually target? So this is more for when we're looking at things like where things are ranking in both AEO as well as SEO. So AEO being the LLM side of search. We want to target obviously a place and a language. So I'm going to just keep it as US and US English here and tell you about that. And we'll continue this on as well in a minute. So it's now asking like where you might be struggling, and a common pain point we find is that people don't fully understand how to spread out our content. And time. Brilliant. So now we're here. We will start to go to the next phase now, which is where you will be taken to next, which is your content campaigns. So let's go there. Here you can see we've already auto-created actually. So based off the research we've done, we've already created a campaign that you could actually look at. And the goal of this campaign is to introduce 42 plus keywords off the top of it to start those ranking, and then a traffic goal of 7K views per month. You can start to see that here and we can move in. So let's have a look at this campaign in more detail. So here you can see the campaign, the expected outcomes, equally keyword that we want to kind of attack as a goal of the campaign, but this will build out more through content. You can see the full strategy, the campaign goals, equally content pieces. So we always try to build that pillar piece of content, followed by blog posts and even social content that you can back this up with. It's worth noting that on the free trial, you get to do all this campaign generation and you have 6 free credits for content generation too. Equally, some performance goals of the campaign that we're looking towards. And all of this is editable. So you can edit everything, campaign goals, expected outcomes, everything that you wish. You can equally change up the content that you wish. Or if you want to, let's go ahead and start content production. What we've done there, whilst this is loading, is we've created those briefs for the content right now, but now we need to create a detailed brief of that. So we'll go into that, we'll start creating that detailed brief, and what we're doing in the background here, using all that research that we found, all that business information we've looked at, your tone of voice, all of that, bringing that together into a content brief that really displays the kind of knowledge that we're trying to create here from that. So in a second, when this fully loads, we will come back. It can take a couple of minutes because there is a lot of going in the background here, but you'll also get a notification by email when the brief is ready. There you go. We have pillar content. So that was under 30 seconds to get this together. And what we've done now is really built out that brief. So we've got our content, the unique angle, key takeaways that we're trying to do. who's the target audience we're looking for. Note that this is in US as well, so we've got that content structure. So introduction, trust of the true cost of premium footwear, kind of digging into everything, and conclusions. Bit of a keyword strategy, so we're looking at primary and secondary keywords here for this article. Content requirements, so tone of voice, second person, style, visual elements that you should create. We don't currently do any visual elements because we feel this is something that a lot of people want to take care of themselves. And then some success metrics, and then obviously a quality checklist that we create on top of that. Once you've got that, you can edit again any part of this, so it's really valuable in that, or you can go ahead and create a draft. So that has now gone off to be created. We'll see this screen where it's in progress. This process can take around 5 minutes because it's going off to our agentic process where we have a multi-stage process to create content, truly differentiating itself from, custom GPTs that some people create. Agencies specifically are doing this. But while that's going on, let me just take you around the rest of the site. So here you can see your business, knowledge base, and LEO ranking. So knowledge base is essentially where you can start to upload some information about yourself. So it could be key articles that you've had written, maybe it's some press that's gone out, or tone of voice documents that you really think we should know about. This all goes into the article writing, the campaigns. So it's really important to start putting that stuff in. We have LEO ranking. So this is for the language engine side of things and how to make language engines understand your website. So you can just generate your LLMs.txt files. These are files that sit on your server and help the LLMs understand. In your business, it tells you about your business and everything we've extracted, and you can change that. We also do a standard SEO site audit. So we blend both an on-page SEO score and the site speed analysis from Google Lighthouse, so you can see everything together. Everything is raised here, so off these issues, some of those you might not want to fix, but all of them are improvements. And you can see for this particular company, they've actually got a fairly healthy on-page score, but there's still things to fix. So it's really worth digging into this. And you've got also performance details and what passed, what didn't pass, and you can dive into those. We've got links to articles where it can help you. Equally, if you dig deeper into these things, you can understand more about what those issues were. So here, for instance, 100 pages have images without alt text. That's really important. And also, as we're driving into the AEO world, it becomes even more important to describe your images because that helps people understand. We can look at keyword rankings. So, for instance, at the moment in the US market, this particular company hasn't got anything going on, but we can obviously dive into that further. Equally, we will try and refresh that every week so we can start to understand more about them. We have published content. So our scrapers go off and understand the full published content flow. So this is coming up. We have re-optimization of content coming. So that will be there within the next few weeks. So you can update all your current. Then you can see content briefs. This is where all your current content lives from campaigns. You can equally choose which have got detail brace, which are awaiting detail, and the types of those content and the statuses as well. You can create a custom brief. So if you don't want to create a campaign or you've got an idea for a post, you can do that. This gives you the way of doing that. You can input all of your information, the type of information. We also do video scripts and infographic idea generation for briefs as well. So that can then go into creating a campaign. Completed content will show all the content you've already created with us that's gone through to published. And equally for all of these, you have archive functionality as well. So let's say you don't like something or you've already done something to completion, you just want to tidy things up, you can put them in the archive. And then from the archive, you can fully delete things. We also allow you to do keyword research. So with that, you can go into the keyword research, dive deep, and also we'll suggest long tail keywords. You can have a keyword list as long as you like. So just to look at competitors, we kind of do some analysis on market vulnerabilities and equally some positioning opportunities. Then we can dive into the competitors themselves. So we look at the keywords they're ranking for, estimated traffic value. So if you were doing paid, what would the equivalent be in paid? We look at what their top performing keywords are. Equally, where they're being surfaced within search. You can see here this company has had 223 surfaces in the AI overview, which is really important to understand, and equally trending keywords, so what's on the up. And then when you dive down here, we can see the keywords that are ranking and equally low content. So you can actually create a brief directly from these and start ranking for those pieces of content straight away. So going back to the content that we actually started to create there, Let's go back to that. This is the content that we created a draft for. You can see here it was actually completed in 2 minutes, which is really good. And then we go into a draft-based system. So we're loading that content for you. You can see here, we've gone through that brief, really created it out in clear, definable ways. We're really trying to make things deliver for the person coming, but also really providing clear value for all of search as well. So there's a lot in here that you can see and do. Also, if you want to create revisions, you can. You have a number of revisions you can make. You can be really specific. So let's say we don't want to use as many lists as shown in this article, and you can submit that for revision. It will go off back to our creation process with that content in mind, and we'll regenerate the draft with that in mind. So you'll see that again when you come through to use the platform. You can also translate. So once you've published your content with us, which was the little green icon you just saw, you can also then publish the content in a different language. So we have a multi-stage language agentic process which does our best at translating all content into a new language. So if that is something that's important to you, and then equally you can create new campaigns. So when we go to here, you can also suggest a campaign. Quite a lot of you will, or if you want, you'll auto generate. We also send out weekly emails with campaigns we think that you should look at. So we'll do those, and then when you come into the site, those will load. But this gives you a way of creating a campaign summary and a type, so you can do problem solution authority, seasonal opportunity, competitive gap, thought leadership, and build campaigns around that. So yeah, that is everything in a nutshell for you. Please do reach out if you have any issues, and we are always looking to build our communications with our customers because we find it a super value to create a product that really hits home for you and provides a lot of value. So that is EspyGo.